The Jake Asman Show will begin shortly. Thanks to all these great Patreon members who help support the show. Get your super chats ready. Jake will be here in just a moment. If you love the New York Jets, this is the place to be. And now, the Jake Asman Show.
Robert Saleh is out. Jeff Ulbrich has been promoted. Nathaniel Hackett has officially been demoted. We'll talk about that and much more when Fireman Ed is set to join us in his weekly spot on the show. It's the Jake Asman Show. Let's hit it and get it started.
Man, our Jets are primed for a historic season.
First of all, thank you to Robert. Just remember this, there's a human side to this. There's a family, an extended family that's really hurting. So when you're out there celebrating this in whatever way you do, just remember there's a human aspect to it. I care about my teammates, care about winning. I got to play better. I will. We're getting behind Brick, and, there'll be some changes with this, and that's the direction we're going to go. Today is about moving forward, embracing the changes that are coming, and it's a time for us as players to lock arms with each other and find that belief inside of us, because that's the only way that we can inspire the belief in our fan base to get behind us in the right way.
We bleed Jets green each and every day. This is not the same old Jets. We have Aaron freaking Rodgers. We have Garrett Wilson. Let's go. We have Breece Hall. Please subscribe and hit the like button below. Super chat, baby. Cut the line. We have Sauce Gardner. We have Quinnen Williams. The Jets bandwagon is loaded. Now it's time to talk all things New York Jets. It's the Jake Asman Show.
Here we go, Jet fans. Welcome in, everybody. Thanks for spending part of your day with us here on the channel. If you missed the first stream on the day, Nick Faria joined us for the latest on the Davante Adams trade rumors, and in real time, the news that Nathaniel Hackett has been demoted, and the Jets will have Todd Downing be their new offensive play caller broke, so we reacted to that in real time. Before we bring on our esteemed guest, the great Fireman Ed, a reminder that we're doing a watch party for the Jets-Steelers game at T-Squared Social on Sunday Night Football. It's October 20th. We'll be there at 7, kickoff just after 8. If you want to join, it's free. Just RSVP with the link in the description. I made the link earlier today, so if you plan on joining us for Sunday Night Football, RSVP if you're coming out to our latest watch party at T-Squared Social. Joining us right now is the great Fireman Ed. Ed, the last time you and I spoke, all was well with the Jets, and then lose to Denver, lose to Minnesota, lose the head coach, and now here we go, another day being a Jet fan with the latest twists and turns.
Unbelievable. The most talented team we ever had, and somehow, some way, we seem to get into chaos. So we'll see where it goes. We aggravated with that loss to the Broncos. Come on. We were just talking about how good we looked, and we was looking to go on a roll there, right? And what happens? This guy has 15 penalties. 15 penalties. We had 10 days to get ready for that team. We were 10.5-point favorite in that. When are we ever 10.5-point favorite? And what did they do? That's directly on the coach. That was directly on Saleh. I said it on my Instagram, Fireman Ed 42. I said, and I meant it. Listen, nobody ever wants to see somebody lose their job. I told you I wanted him to sign another contract. I was pushing for him. I was rooting for him. But I knew that ultimately the discipline was going to be the difference with him. When you have uncontrolled play, nobody can handle that. Nobody. And we can get into it with Hackett and the whole offensive scheme and all of that. But you know what? When you keep shooting yourself in the foot with constant, offsides, delay games. We just go on and on and on. What is happening? So, very, very frustrating. But I think there's a light at the end of the tunnel. I'm a glass half full. You know that. So I'm always looking at the positives and what's going to come of this. So we'll see.
Your thoughts on Ulbrich being the choice? Were you surprised that he was the guy, or you thought he'd be the interim if they ever made this decision?
Well, the first thing I was surprised at was, like I think most of us were, that Woody had the balls, and it is balls, to do what he did, because he's never done it in the past. I mean, there's plenty of guys that should have went. I mean, Gase, number one. And, so we thought that this was going to go on and on and on. What does he say in his statement? I can't go over and over and over with the same thing. That was, I wanted to hear that because, we all have our feelings about Woody, okay? And listen, do I think that Woody Johnson wants to win? 1,000,000%. 1,000,000%. Do I think he listens to a lot of people? Yeah, I do. So, it's the flavor of the week a lot of times. But I thought what he did, the balls that he had to fire Saleh, I thought it was the right time to fire him. I didn't think he would fire him after London. I thought I actually said to my nephew, I said, this guy's going to be gone either after the Bill game or the Steeler game, depending on how it goes. I said, because they can't lose the Bill game. I said, they just can't. And once again, everything that's transpired, we'll talk about it, but we can't lose that Bill game.
Yeah.
We cannot lose this Bills game.
No. They couldn't lose the Denver game, and then they followed that up, Ed, by going down 17-0 against Minnesota.
Listen, this one's different.
Yeah.
This one's the division. This is the champions. You want to win this. We have the talent. We have the team to do it. They've lost talent. They're not playing. All of a sudden, they were gangbusters. They're not playing gangbusters the last 2 weeks. Okay? So they've come back to the pack. It's time to set this thing straight. I think that Woody did the right thing. Listen, I like Saleh. Who didn't like Saleh as a person? Come on. I mean, the coach is a stand-up guy. Come on. I mean, he just is. And, as far as like a patch on us, come on. He's Lebanese. Let's not go into that. That's ridiculous. All right? It's ridiculous. It's like me wearing Italian, you wearing a Jewish, whatever it is. What's the difference? What's the difference? It's your flag. If that's what you want to wear, you wear it. So forget that shit.
I got my flag right here, Ed. I got the two flags that mean the most to me right here.
I'm an American, and I don't get into that political nonsense. You know, you got to respect people. That's the main thing. Respect people.
Well said.
Right? A little more love go a long way, right? Anyway, I felt bad for Saleh, but did I think it was time? Yeah, I do. I did. I really think the alarming one was the Denver game. I
agree.
Really do.
I agree. Because Ed, I think what happened was you had that performance against Denver. It reminds you of everything that was supposed to be different this year with Rodgers and this talent, and that was a Zach Wilson, Tim Boyle level loss that we've seen how many times the last few years.
Jake, we slayed the dragon of the Patriots. We hadn't beat him in 8 years. We didn't beat him since Fitz in 2015. We come back. We're all joyful. We're all excited. I wanted them to pour it on them. But it wasn't Belichick over there. So I understood where they were at. If it was Belichick, I think they would have poured it on. But they let up the all break, no gas. All gas, no break. I should say. Hey, that was pretty good. Because that's what it wound up being. And then you go in and you go into Denver. I mean, come on, man. What are we doing? What are we doing?
Yep.
And then the rain and the whole
the excuse making afterwards, the cadence thing with Rodgers, and like the word accountability was used by him and Quincy Williams. And you could see the writing on the wall if you've been following this team.
Yes, if you're a diehard, you see what's going on. I mean, listen, the cadence, and then he backtracked. Like, what do you don't that to me? That felt like he didn't have a pulse. This is your best player. You went out and got him. That's what he lives for. He lives and dies for the cadence. It's part of his repertoire. It's a big part of his repertoire. And it works. It's obvious. This guy starts questioning that. You had to love Rodgers when he goes, well, you could look at it that way. Or we could hold everybody accountable. Oh, my God. I was like, is he for real? I remember that night going, I'm watching that press conference. I'm going, is he serious? I said, he's delirious, man. The guy's done. The guy's done. And he was done. and it's not easy to do that. I know what's going into it. I seen Rogers on the McAfee show talk about it yesterday. It affects everybody, and I get it. But you know what? It was time. So hey, you got a lot of good juice from Boomer and Gio. I don't know if it was this morning or it might have been this morning.
Yeah, Gio called this some Zoom show. I'm like, it's a little bigger than that, Gio, but I appreciate it.
Is that what he called it, a Zoom show?
Called it a Zoom show. And I guess he's unaware that Joe B joins the show every week. I wasn't just having Joe on for clicks. Joe joins us every Monday. But,
well, Gio's a little full of himself. He's gotten to that point. I'm a fan of Boomer. Gio's okay. I mean, whatever. Boomer. I love Boomer. It is what it is. But they did give you a little juice. But you're my guy, so
I appreciate it.
If he's gonna be derogatory to you, then I gotta step up there and protect my guys.
I appreciate it. We're all good. Gio's fine. I did want to play this though before I get your take on it. So many of us expected, okay, if you're making a coaching change, what does that mean for the offense? And Jeff Ulbrich made it official earlier with a play calling change.
Regarding the staff, after a lot of time to think about it and did not make this decision easily by any means, I'm going to make Todd Downing the play caller for the New York Jets going forward. And this is more a byproduct of a different take on things. I'm not saying it's a better or worse take on things by any means, but just a different take on things, a fresh approach. So ultimately, Todd will have the full say on the game plan and ultimately the plays that are called within the game.
Ed, your thoughts on the new head coach making his first big coaching decision here? Hackett demoted, Downing the new play caller for the offense going forward.
Well, I thought Coach Ulbrich was a little overwhelmed the first press conference, which was understandable. He got the news about 4 hours. I was surprised they even put him on a podium at that point. I really was. Like, would you give the guy a little, give him a little something before you start, boom. That was his boy, so that there's certain things with the organization that you just say, does anybody have a clue? There's times where you just see things that you go, that's not normal. Why are you putting him on the podium 4 hours after this all transpires? The media could wait. Sometimes I just believe they're so afraid of the media, that they control the narrative at times over there in Florham Park with these guys.
Yeah, they get crushed no matter anything they do. So it's like you shouldn't even care, to your point.
Yeah, exactly. And I think they care more than they should. I really do. I don't think Joe Douglas has got it held down, I believe. I mean, and by the way, I wouldn't get rid of Joe Douglas by any means. That's just my feeling. Other than Joe Douglas drafting Zach Wilson, what else do you got to say about Joe Douglas? Joe Douglas has he's got a good roster here. It's a good roster. So that's my opinion. We're going to that another time. But anyway, Ulbrich, I'm rooting for Ulbrich. He's a player. He was a former player, tough guy. Let's see what he can do. It's not an easy situation. The big thing is that he got rid of Nate Hackett. I'm surprised Nate Hackett stayed. Like, this is a very touchy subject. You see how Rodgers was, all right, with Hackett.
Well, did you hear that apparently Hackett was basically given the chance to leave, and he chose to stick around? Rodgers alluded to it when he spoke earlier.
I did not hear that because I didn't get any of the videos yet. I haven't had a chance. I've been running around a little bit. Is that correct?
So Rodgers basically said it speaks volumes that he still wanted to be here for me and to help Todd and the rest of the team. So there were rumblings. Hey, Downing's going to be the OC, and Ulbrich said to Hackett, you could stay on or you could leave, and no one's going to blame you for it.
Yeah, I am surprised Hackett stayed because that's a tough pill to swallow. You go and you get demoted, literally demoted, right? I'm going to tell you one that I really believe. I really believe this, okay? And I believe that the season will go according to this. This is how strong I feel about this, okay? This is the first time I'm saying this. If Davante Adams does not come here, that tells you all you need to know. That tells you all you need to know. Remember what I told you. If he does not come here, if he just stays with the Raiders, whatever, they didn't get what they wanted, they're going to deal with him, they're going to do. But it's evident that, listen, all we've heard, Jake, for 2 years, well, since Aaron's here, he wants to play with Davante. Well, now you have your chance to play with Davante, right? The reason the deals haven't been made is they want the second-round pick. They're not getting a second-round pick.
Nope.
So listen, it's going to be a third or even less, but it'll probably be a third, okay?
Which they have 2/3 and no excuse not to get this done.
Exactly. They have no excuse not to get it done. We all know that, and they've made it clear that both of them want to play together. That's not something that we made up. This is all we've heard. We just keep hearing that. Well, now if it doesn't happen, Jake, after what's transpired this week, then I start questioning. Then I start going, whoa. Because I'm an Aaron Rodgers guy. I love Aaron Rodgers. I think we win a world championship with Aaron Rodgers. But all of a sudden, if Davante doesn't come, maybe, then then there's a lot of things you start thinking about, right? I'm not going to get into all of it now because nothing's happened. I'm telling you that just makes sense. You tell me that doesn't make sense, that if Davante doesn't come and he wound up going to another team, oh my God, there's no way. That's all you heard. Every single expert, Adam Schefter, Ian Rappaport, Albert Breer. I mean, we go down the line. Just keep going. All the guys that you actually put some faith in because they don't have sources. They actually stand by what they say, because there's plenty of guys that have sources. I don't listen to any of them. Have the facts. Tell me the facts. They said Davante Adams was coming to the Jets. That's what they said. Can't change now. That tells you all you need to know. Remember what I'm telling you. He's got to be here. If he's not here, they're not all in. Everybody's not in. Everybody's not all in on what's going on. That's all I'm going to tell you.
Well, that would be fair criticism for the GM, or if we find that it's a money thing, what he didn't want to pay the rest of the contract, which I don't believe, because your action of firing the head coach just 5 games in, when you're 2-3 playing for first place on Monday, as bad as these last 2 games have been, that's a move from an owner who clearly is seemingly in to win. So I'm with you. I think they're just posturing over the trade package at this point. That's what I think.
So. But the one thing I'm going to say about Woody, okay? I don't want to hear the bullshit about Woody with money. Woody's never a problem with money. He's just not. He goes for the money. He doesn't make all the right decisions, all right? But he goes for the money. Put it this way, Jay. In his conference call, he says, he speaks out about Hassan Reddick. Hassan Reddick, I don't know what kind of information you're getting, but he basically said, you're getting the wrong information. Drive up 95. You'll love it here. Owner doesn't say those things. He's willing to give him some cashews. Now, Douglas has to be careful with that because of the locker room. I understand that. So there's a fine line there. But there's a happy medium somewhere along the way there, okay? That everybody could be. So enough with Woody with the money. I don't want to hear that. You gotta say something else. He doesn't run the franchise right. The organization isn't run correctly. You could say a lot of things, because the bottom line is wins and losses. Everybody's judged by wins and losses. Woody's has a winning percentage of .434 since he bought it 25 years ago. Okay? So listen, I'm a Jet fan. I love them like you do. I root for them. I'm positive. I'm not going to bash the Jet organization. I'm not doing it. I'm just not doing it, because you got to rely on an organization. You could say what it is, but if you're going to just pound them, what are you doing? Don't be a fan. Don't be a fan. You can criticize them, but don't pound them. Like, we all know what's happening, okay? But Woody's not all bad. Like, Woody, and I'm not paid by Woody, okay? So that's not, I'm telling you that I believe the guy wants to win. Has he listened to a lot of people in his ears? 1,000,000%. 1,000,000%, and not the right people a lot of times. But I do think he has the right GM. That I do. I do think he has the right GM. And I could understand him getting blown away by Saleh when Saleh came in. I could understand that. We all wanted Saleh. Remember what we all wanted. You know, we forget, no, I didn't want Saleh. Everybody will tell you that. I don't want Saleh. No, I wanted Saleh.
He was considered the top guy in the cycle when they hired him.
Look at him on a sideline. You were like, but he wasn't that guy on the sideline. When he became the head coach, he wasn't that guy. You've seen that occasionally. You've seen he was actually overwhelmed, I think.
I think this town, the losing, the media, I think it beat him down, Ed. I mean, he looked like a defeated guy, and the body language was becoming a problem. I feel like, they say teams take on the personality of their coach. They were starting to kind of become Robert Saleh, especially on offense with the slow starts and everything. I mean, that's why Ulbrich, I think, was the right move, because he's held that defense to the same standard, even with a lot less talent that they've had on that side of the ball so far this year.
Jake, this city's media is brutal. I ain't going to get into particular guys, but they got too much power, man. They got too much say in what goes on. They listen to them too much. All right? You see, for the first time, the last probably 5 years, maybe a little longer, that the Giants are getting that kind of abuse, which you never seen. Mara never let that happen. Right? But winning. They haven't won. What is it? 14 years? 13 years? What is it? 11? 13 years, right? So they're getting up at the point where, but they've been getting, like, look what they did to Dabble. Look like a couple of those guys did, referring like he's not going to be around. You have a good chance of losing your job. These guys are making statements like that to these guys. I mean, this guy's here, 3 years? He's here a year less than Saleh, right?
Correct. Dable was 2022.
I mean, but listen, these guys are way out of line. I mean, they just are. It's insane. You get information from them, but you can go back to Mike Lupica, Dick Young. I mean, you just keep going back with these guys. These guys are brutal. They're brutal. They're biased. And listen, the bottom line is you don't win. This is what happens. They all hop on you. We haven't won in 55 years, Jake. And, this is what happens. And now this streak that we got, 13 years, they're just hopping on it. They're trying to step on you. I'm a believer, and I've always felt this way. I don't care if it's the Jets or not. It's in life. I mean, with a fire department, wherever I worked, guys who try to hold you down. This is part of life. No matter what occupation, wherever you are, you got to know who your boys are. You got to know who stands with you. And that's just the way it is. And ain't nobody holding me down. Ain't never happening. That's never happening. It never did, and it never will. At 65, it didn't happen when I was young. Listen, I wasn't a guy. I didn't sit on the fence, Jake, in my life. I didn't sit on the fence. I wasn't politically correct. I was what I was. I said what I felt, and I meant what I did, and I stand by it, and I still stand by it. So, when you get into this with the Jets, and the media, it just pisses me off because, the day that we win, Jake, we got to, remember what Saleh said. He had receipts, right? He never got to cash those receipts. Right? He never got to cash those receipts. I hope we get to cash those receipts because we keep going through coaches and GMs and, he was the only guy, by the way, he was the only head coach I never met. Never met Saleh.
You never met him, you're saying?
Never met him.
Really?
Met him. Tried to numerous times. Didn't happen. And now he's gone. We're still here. We're still here.
We'll continue to be here. Now, I want to get
We
into
will.
how they could turn this around, it's starting Monday night against the Bills. But quick reminder to everyone tuning in, we're available in podcast form now. So in addition to the YouTube show, search the Jake Asman Show on Apple or Spotify, and you can listen back to anything you might have missed. Get to the Super Chats coming up, so keep submitting those. Reminder, we announced it at the start of the show. Next watch party for the Asmaniacs is Sunday Night Football on October 20th. Jets Steelers, free admission, just RSVP if you're coming out to T-Squared Social for that watch party. The link is in the description now for this video. Ed, Monday night, new play caller, intern head coach. Rodgers will be out there against the Bills team that the Jets the last 2 years with Zach Wilson have been able to beat at MetLife. As bad as the last 2 weeks have been, they're playing for first place in this one. If the Jets are going to turn their season around starting Monday, what are some things you immediately want to see happen?
Number one, period. Stop everything else. The offensive line has got to play better. They have to open up holes. They have to listen. You see what's happening. Ulbrich and Todd Downing. This is just a glimpse that I think we're going to see. You're going to see them try to run the ball. Okay? I mean, commit to the run. What would be better, Jake, than a 75-yard break from Breece Hall to start the game, the first, second, third play of the game? Boom, he breaks one, and let it go. Let's go. The offensive line is they're my favorite unit. I love them. I always believe that when you first come together in an offensive line, it takes you 4 to 6 weeks to really, start to feel one another, get a gel for one another. And now we're going into week 6. We only had one guy that got hurt, Morgan. A big part of it, but you basically have cohesiveness there. It's there. These guys got to start playing and opening up holes. Now we could say that the formations, the game plan, well, they just changed coaches. You got Todd Downing. When you look at Todd Downing, what did he do? He ran the ball. He likes to run the ball. He had guys that could run the ball. Derrick Henry, right? He had the guys. He had Marshawn Lynch with the Raiders, right? When he was the offensive coordinator, that was his running back. So he's got 2 guys back there. It's going to be up to the offensive line to impose their will. You got to impose the will on these guys. We've gotten pushed around the last 2 weeks. Right or wrong. And
Aaron Rodgers can't throw 54 times in a game again and take that many hits. It's not going to work.
And take the hits, right? So you got to establish the run, all right? But sometimes you got to run. You got to pass to run the ball. You're stacking the box. You got to let it go, right? I mean, one of the things that I would say that Hackett wasn't doing more than anything, they never threw the ball down the field. How many times did we throw the ball down the field? Talk about throw it down the field. Open it up. I'm not going to say who, but I yelled with the Denver game because I'm right there. I yelled. I said, Nathaniel. I said, you got to throw the ball down the field. Stacking the box. This is into the third quarter. I'm like, what are we doing here? Right? So I lost it. I completely lost it. And I'm screaming. One of the offensive linemen wasn't playing. He turned around and just laughed and went. And I said, that's all you need to know. I couldn't get into who it was because I don't want to do that. But I'm telling you, and they go like this to one another. The offensive line go like this, hit one another. What I said, because it was clear. There was a break in the action, whatever it was, where they weren't actually playing any music in the break, where you could actually be a part of the game, the actual game, where you actually feel the the stadium and the adrenaline for the fans. No, we got to entertain. This is an entertainment portion of the program.
Yeah.
All day, all night, just play the music, play everything. Don't let the fans get into it. God forbid. We have to just keep entertaining the fans. We're at a music concert. We're not really at a football game.
Tell us how you really feel about the MetLife in stadium entertainment, Ed.
This is what's happening there. I'm telling you, this is what's happening. They put me on that screen one time on Sunday. One time on defense, and it was at the end of the game. At the end of the game. I just went, get out of here. I mean, I'm trying to make a difference here. It ain't about me being on a screen, my face. I give a shit. I'm trying to win. I want to win. Get the fans going. That fan base, let me tell you something. That Denver Bronco fan base, that was one of the worst fan bases we've had in years. And I know it was raining, but if you ain't going to get up, go sit on your couch. Go sit on your couch. There's plenty of fans out there that can't afford the tickets and would love to be there. And they'd be out of their minds being there. Okay? That wasn't happening. There were certain sections that were, which always, the end zones they're always nutty. They're always good. Those guys are they're the best of the best. The end zones are the best of the best. But anyway, it was just crazy. Anyway, he's got to throw the ball down the field. They got to throw the ball down the field. You have to keep this bullshit with 10-yard plays and slants and, come on, man. Outs. Throw the ball down the field. You got the guys to do it. So we're going to have to open it up. And, we have the running backs. It's going to be up to the offensive line. You asked me, the offensive line is going to be the key to winning and losing this game. When we sit back next week and talk about the Buffalo Bill game, we will be talking about the offensive line. We have the guy that can win a world championship finally behind the helm. Finally, we all would agree on that we could win a world championship with Aaron Rodgers. Am I right or wrong?
100%. Well, Let me ask you this about Rodgers, right? I loved what he said earlier today, what he said yesterday, taking responsibility for his play, saying, I need to be better, and I will. We all need to be better. He talked today how, hey, if I had played better, Robert Saleh is still the head coach right now. Nathaniel Hackett doesn't get demoted. So he's saying the right things. This is typically when people now are all throwing the shade at Rodgers, calling him washed after the 3 picks. This is where if he's still that dude, he comes out on Monday Night Football with the entire country watching, and he plays well. Your thoughts on what we're going to get from Aaron on Monday?
Hey, they give him any kind of time, and he's going to light it up. I expect Rodgers to have a monster game. Monster game. I expect the offense to have a monster game. This isn't the defense the Buffalo Bills have been taunting for the last 3 years, 4 years. They don't have the defensive players. They lost both safeties. They lost Milano, who's their best player. Now they the kid from Denver, Von Miller, is out because of his domestic. They got suspended for domestic, whatever he got suspended for. This isn't the same defense. We got to expose them, and we got to do what we did with Josh Allen the last 2 years when we put pressure on him. He's got to be running for his life. All right, is Cook playing?
Not sure. Let's see the injury report from Buffalo.
I heard he's got a bad turf toe.
By the way, I'm amazed Josh Allen is playing. That guy had a concussion last week.
Did you see that? Jake,
he was out. He was out.
Jake, I don't understand. Is the rules across the board, or is it just for certain players? Because that guy was out on the field. He was out. There's no doubt he was out. He smashed his head. He was like this. I remember watching him going, oh, my God. And he says, I'm okay when he goes sideline. They must have called and said, you got to put him in a blue tent. But they put him in a blue tent. You know what they did? They gave him smelling salt.
He was right back.
And he went back in. Now, those throws, if you look at those throws when he was in the end zone, they were all sailing. Did you see his throws?
He finished 9 of 30. He was terrible.
Dude, he was out of it. He was out of it. I mean, what is happening? The NFL is, they're just two faces, is what they are. It's good for certain guys, and that's the referees. The referees are, oh my God,
a disaster.
They're so biased. They're so biased, depending on the team that's playing. I really believe that. It's incredible. And I've heard that because I remember Joe Burrow, and he never does interviews, but he did an interview. I watched it this summer. And I think he did the interview with the Nelk boys, Dana White's guys, all those guys that have Happy Dad. And he says, when he was talking, he says when he was a rookie in his second year, he said they didn't give him any calls. He was getting his ass whipped. He goes, he started playing well, and all of a sudden he was getting calls where he was going, well, I didn't think that was a personal. So, what are we doing here? Like, what are we doing? It's just unbelievable. What is happening is incredible. And that scares you. Think about it. That scares you.
The whole thing is crazy. Now, you asked about James Cook for the Bills. He did not practice today with a toe. And Oliver, who's one of their stud defensive tackles, he didn't practice either, and neither did probably their number one receiver at this point with all the injuries. Khalil Shakir did not practice either.
He didn't play last week.
I mean, this is a huge opportunity for the Jets because, I mean, their strength is their secondary. The Bills don't have an elite wide receiver right now. They're all banged up. You have played well against this quarterback anyway the last 2 years. If they could just get their head on straight offensively, protect Aaron Rodgers, I think the Jets are going to win and shut a lot of people up. And I think the stadium that you're going to be leading the Jet chants to is going to be out of its mind at kickoff for this game. The crowd's going to be into it. Now the Jets got to do their part.
Hey, Jake, I'm anxious to see how many Jet fans are going to show up. Because last year when we played and Aaron was his first game, what was there, 10,000 Buffalo fans? There wasn't a lot of Buffalo fans.
No, it was the least it's ever been.
There wasn't a lot of Buffalo fans. This week, how many Buffalo fans are going to be there? How many Buffalo fans are going to be there? What do you say? How many's going to be there?
Maybe like 20 this time, a little bit. I mean, I still think this fan base is going to be fired up, and maybe that's part of the reason why they did this now too with Saleh.
I hope it's 20. I think it's going to be 30.
So that'd be...
I hope it's 20.
50, 30, yeah.
And it'll be 60, 40. It should be 80, 20. That's what it should be. That's what it should be. I'm anxious. I want to see the fan base they can show up this week. I want to see if they can show up this week because I just want to see if they can show up. Because remember, we lost 2 in a row now. It's a lot of, you got to remember the diehards of 50,000, they're always there. Diehards are always there. The 50,000, they always show up. 40, 50,000, they're always there. The other 20, 30, we always have 40, 50. Those guys are just, and ladies are always there. They're there by whether we win or lose. And we sure know we've been losing a lot. So I'm anxious to see. The offensive line, Jake, is going to be the difference, I believe, when we talk about it next week. Aaron, I think, is going to have a big day. And the defense will come to play. And, I expect to win that game. I can tell you this. We don't win that game. We just put ourselves in a really bad spot. Really bad spot.
Oh, yeah.
Because now, not only did they beat you at home, now you got to go up there in December, late December. All right? And that's going to be a tough task to do. Okay? So you got to win this game Monday. And, I think he did the right thing. He gave him a shot in the arm by doing, it's, what I like to think when you do things like this, Jake, you put everybody on notice. Nobody's safe. When Woody did what he did, nobody's safe. What he said, the statement that they did today, when Hackett got demoted, he could say all he wanted, offensive coordinator, he's still the offensive. No, you're not. You're not calling the plays. You're not the offensive coordinator. Okay? He stayed. Good for him. Great. All right, we move on. When you make those statements, everybody's job is on the line. And it's the way it should be. It's the way it should be. That's the way Saleh should have had it. Saleh was the good old boys club. It's the good old boys club. You know, everybody's good. Everybody's great. You know, these are my guys. Nobody's got to, you know, they're held accountable. No, they're not. And I'm not saying he needs to drag them off the field. He should get them off the field and have his coordinators, that's what they're there for, to talk to them. Because the camera's not going to ever see and doesn't care when the position coach talks to the player. They only care what the head coach does with the player.
Yep.
So there was a way to do it without embarrassing them. You can still do it. Get them off the field. You know, that Clemens, remember what's happening. We didn't even talk about this. Deion Dawkins had a lot to say in the offseason.
That's right.
He had a lot to say.
And I'll tell you what, Ed, Clemens got to be careful because they're going to try and bait him. They're going to try and bait him into a penalty.
Clemens better be careful. He better be a player. Don't be a tough guy. Be a tough guy when you're in the street. Play the game. Play the game. And that's going to be big because they need to keep their head. And Ulbrich, this is a good test for Ulbrich right to start. You know, this is your guys. Listen, that mantra, you want the press has so much power. Why don't you start pushing that? Why doesn't Connor Hughes and Rich Cimini and Brian Costello and go on and on and on with the Ian O'Connor? Keep going. Mark Cannizzaro. Let's just keep going. Why don't you put the articles out about Deion Dawkins and talking all shit about the Jets and their bags of shit? They all think they're tough guys and they did. The fan base will be out of their minds. That should be headlines all the time. That should be going right now. Right now. It's into Thursday already. That should have been headlines. Nobody's reading the paper Saturday. Should be headlines Friday, tomorrow morning. That should be headlines. Deion Dawkins. Monday. The way it is.
Let's go. Let's go, Ed.
I'm ready. I'll be ready Monday.
Before you get out of here, Ed. My sources tell me that the old Fireman Ed white helmet could be back as the Jets rock the throwbacks against Buffalo on Monday.
Well, we got the throwback.
Yeah.
We got the throwback, the Harper throwback. The throwback.
I love it. Did you order that when they first released the jerseys?
I did. I ordered it, and I said, let me get it, baby. I got to get it. I got to get my man Bruce, the Bruce Juice. That's Bruce Juice, Bruce Harper, my guy. That's my guy. So, yeah, the white helmet will have a good chance of being back. But I do like the green. This is the old school. This is old school. So, see, it's all beaten up a little bit. Yeah. Gives you a little character. I took it off the shelf. Put it on.
Wow.
This is from way back. This is 88. It's 88. It's way back. We ain't even got listening. You ain't even got your following probably ain't 88. So it's all good, bro.
Ed,
I'm excited.
You're the man. I know this crowd's gonna be ready on Monday. Now the Jets got to do their part.
You gonna be there?
I think I'm gonna end up going. I haven't bought the ticket yet, but it's gonna be tough to keep me away.
Good. And then I'll be in Pittsburgh the following week.
Oh, let's go.
I'm going to Pittsburgh. I bought those tickets early. Bought them right when the season started. I mean, when the schedule came out.
Have you been to Pittsburgh since the championship game 14 years ago?
First time back. I'm actually sitting where I sat in the championship game because the guy that I got the tickets from is a Steeler fan. And he gave me his number and he said, I bought those tickets online. So he says, I'll get you the tickets. He says, you won't pay what you were paying. And so I got the tickets to the Steelers. Mike Hardison, nice guy, great guy.
There you go.
So
there you go.
I'll
All
be
right.
in Pittsburgh with my boys, 3 other guys. We're going.
Ed, let's go Jets, baby. Let's go.
Let's win the division.
That's right.
This starts it. The mission is still clear. There's nothing changed. We got to win the division. Win the division, and then we'll worry about everything else. We get a home playoff game, and then we'll see where we stack up. But we got to win the division. We got to take it right now. Let's go. This is the game. Let's see the big bad Bills Mafia come into town. Let's go. All right, bro.
Ladies and gentlemen, the great Fireman Ed in his weekly spot on the show. Ed joining us a day earlier than usual. Typically, he'll join us on Fridays. I mean, he's right. Nothing really changes. Everything is still in front of the Jets. You win on Monday, you're in first place with a head-to-head win over the Buffalo Bills. Division games are a game and a half in the standings. And this division is still Jets versus Buffalo. New England starting a rookie quarterback and a full rebuild. Miami has their issues at quarterback with Tua. They're a flawed team. It's still the Jets and the Bills. And if the Jets could get the 24 points, I trust this defense to keep Allen under that. That, to me, is still the line of demarcation for this Jets, offense. Get the 24. I think it could do it. If you're tuning in live, hit the like button. Patreon.com/Jake Asman Show is the best way to support me. Less than a cup of coffee a month. You get access to our private Discord. Ed's going to be in Pittsburgh. If you're going to the Steelers game and you want to link up with other Asmaniacs, get in the Discord and click on the Jets Steelers tab. We have a tab in the Discord for every game, so you can connect with your fellow Asmaniacs if you're going. You get 15% off every item in the Jake Asman merch store. Your name in the intro and bonus shows as well. All right, make sure you guys subscribe to this YouTube channel if you haven't already. We hit over 39,000 the other day, which is an awesome number. Next stop, 40K. Gustbuster Hotline has been posted. Let me get caught up on some super chats here. First off, thank you to Sharon, who became an Asmaniac by hitting the join button. Let's go. Henny Heisman writes in, how does Hackett have a job after being demoted twice? He really doesn't have a job. Jeff Ulbrich, my understanding, basically said you could leave the staff if you want, and he chose to stick around. So he's going to be Downing's assistant. He'll get Rodgers his coffee. It's fine. PVM in the house, he writes in, the turning point game, a win and we save the season. We lose. Season's basically over. We got to win. Cook and Shakir didn't practice today, too. Look. If they win, they're in first place. If they lose, they're 2-4, facing a virtual must-win against the Steelers. For tiebreaker implications and just your overall record, you can't drop the 2-5. Over your next three, you got to go at least 2-1, but I want to win all three of these games. Win on Monday, man. This team is better than Buffalo. Get it done. Buffalo's banged up at key spots. The quarterback might be concussed, even though he's not on the injury report somehow. Well, you know what's funny? Josh Allen actually is on the injury report. Left hand/ankle. But he was a full participant. How about head? Concussion. Hennessy writes in, wish my last name was Hackett as I drive to work. He's sticking around, man. He is. Stack says hit the like button. Thank you, Stack. Sauce P writes in, Rodgers missed key times before the season started with his team, and it shows sometimes in games when he's not on the same page.
Just shut the fuck up. I did not ask for the dim opinion that came out of your ass, so shut the fuck up.
Yeah, that's not what happened here. He missed 2 days of padless practice in June. That has nothing to do with the regular season. Big fella, we have the most negative beat writers in the NFL. I mean, the Jets certainly give them a lot of things to write about that are negative. Part of the problem, I think, with the beat, you've had the same guys that have covered this team during this playoff drought. Some of them even longer than that. So they skew negative. Because there hasn't been a ton of positives. Hexen writes in, just got done watching Ulbrich's press conference. I got to say, I'm hyped up. I hope he rights the ship. I think he's been impressive so far. I think he's going to provide the quote unquote shot in the arm that this team desperately needs. Storyline in the house. We have Aaron Rodgers, and we want to do ground and pound offense like the Rex days. If you want that, we should rehire Schottenheimer. I liked his balance. I mean, it's not about grounding and pounding, Storyline. It's about having a running game when you have two really good running backs. You realize that, right? You realize that no one's saying the Jets should not allow Aaron Rodgers to throw the ball. It's don't throw the ball 54 times. Downing, I think, will do a much better job using motion, using play action. They got to stop using 12 personnel. This team doesn't have any justification to play Conklin and Ruckert on the field at the same time. Give those reps to Mike Williams. Spread it out, and then run the football as well. C says, thoughts on player interviews today. Rodgers' press conference was the best he's had since he's been a Jet. I saw the quotes from Sauce, how he deleted social media off his phone because it's so negative. Good. I think Sauce lives in the internet a little bit too much. He always responding to everything. Just go out there and play, man. You could be the best corner in the league. We've seen it. You were a first-team All-Pro your last 2 years. Just go lock in on Monday night. Have a big game. Get that first pick, and let's go. Sauce picked off Allen 2 years ago, and the Jet went over him. Mike D's Nuts in the house with a $10 super chat. Mike, thank you. We endured the drivers and rain and rammed our lungs out versus the Broncos. Mike, I don't know what this exactly means, but I know you were at the game and probably suffered, so I'm guessing you're talking about the rough experience for that Broncos game. It sucked. That was one of the worst losses the Jets have had during this playoff drought. And I think that game more than the Viking game is why Robert Saleh got fired. That was the game that put everyone at the ownership level, mainly Woody, on notice. These nuts. Thank you, Mike D's Nuts. Connie Carberg in the house. I agree with Fireman Ed for bulletin board material on Deion Dawkins. Yeah, look, the Jets should not forget what that fat bastard said, right? I mean, let's go, man. Whatever they got to do to fire them up, that should fire them up. I'm 100% with you, Connie. Joe says, good show, Jake. So Hackett collecting 2 checks and serving lattes. Where do I sign for his job? Well, you got to somehow establish a great relationship with one of the 5 greatest quarterbacks of all time. That's the first step. So first you got to make it to the NFL. Then you got to somehow be on the same team with a Hall of Fame quarterback so he'll go to bat for you every step of the way. Until now. Cactus Johnny says, just drop Mike Williams in fantasy. You're all welcome when he goes off for us this Monday night. Thank you for your service. Marcelo, when I hear the word useless, Michael Clemens seems to pop up in my head every time. Look, let me say this about Clemens. They're going to try and bait him into doing something stupid on Monday. Don't take the bait. And this will be maybe the first test for Jeff Ulbrich. If Clemens has a personal foul or he does something stupid, right? He's pushing and shoving. Sit his ass on the bench. Don't let discipline be a reason why the Jets lose to this team on Monday. If you're just tuning in, Fireman Ed joined us for the first 45 minutes or so of the show. We announced our new watch party date, Jets Steelers. RSVP link is live if you want in on the conversation. Reminder, Thursday Night Football tonight, Yankee baseball tonight. Get your picks in with Underdog Fantasy, baby. Download the Underdog app. Use promo code Asman. And you could get up to a $1,000 cash bonus. Let's go. Underdog, the app in the App Store. Underdog, the website. Underdog Fantasy. You go there, and you can make your picks today. In fact, why don't we make some picks live on the air, huh? And to help me make these picks, I'm going to bring on a special guest. Ladies and gentlemen, joining us right now to give out what we hope will be a winning underdog slip for tonight's Yankees-Royals matchup is
Hi, everybody. This is Bob from Vermont. I am Bob, of course.
Wow, that's a surprise.
Bobby, I'm going to give you the opportunity to make some people some money, all right?
All right, let's go. I think not the football game, just the Yankee game, right?
No, just the Yankee game. I'll explain how Underdog works to you, all right? And then you're going to tell everyone what you're picking, and people could follow along.
Right.
Or they could pick against you. So here we go. You'll see it up on the screen. All right, little Underdog fantasy here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to scroll to MLB.
Right, MLB.
Okay, that's Major League Baseball for you kids at home. Here we go. Yankees, Royals.
Yep.
And we got to pick players, at least one from each team. So we'll start with Garrett Cole. I personally think he's going to have a nice game tonight. I expect Cole to pitch well. Now, his strikeouts is listed at a higher or lower at 4.5. Would you go higher or lower on Cole's strikeouts?
I go higher.
I agree. All right, Cole is our first one. Let's keep scrolling down. Do we think Aaron Judge breaks out tonight, Bobby?
How many hits does it say?
1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. Total bases is 1.5. So if he walks
twice. Let's go higher. Let's go higher.
On total bases?
Hits, I think.
So hits, runs, RBIs, higher?
Yeah, higher, yeah.
All right, there we go. Now we need one pick from a Royal player. So let's see. Michael Wacha is pitching tonight.
Yeah, I don't like him.
Do we think he'll strike out at least 4 Yankees?
Yeah, but I don't like him. I'd rather
go
with Bobby Witt.
Okay, Bobby Witt. Here we go.
Yeah.
Bobby Witt. Will he have higher than 1.5 total bases?
Yes.
Okay. That's our pick.
Yeah, I know you can't pick all 3 Yankees. I know that. That's like in DraftKings, too.
I'm throwing $25 on this, Bob. You ready?
Yeah, and if you win, how much you win on that?
131.
All right, good boy. I hope you win.
Hold on. I got to enable my location. I took it off. But if you're in New York,
yes.
illegal.
I know. That happens to me all the time in Vermont. They have to have your location. They have to download whatchamacallit on it. Oh, it's a pain in the ass. But
it's because I'm not on Wi-Fi. But anyway, that's how Underdog works. Bob, great job with the picks. I appreciate you joining me as a special guest.
I know. Can I say things with I agree with Fireman Ed.
Sure.
And Michael said hello to you. And he thinks the Jets are going to the Super Bowl, which I do too. I think they have a shot now after getting rid of Saleh. Because you can see Saleh, like he said, they only go to the head coach on the sideline.
Yep.
We know what he's been doing the last 3 weeks, folding his arms, chewing his coat. What can you don't get emotional. I bet Ulbrich will get emotional. And that new offensive coach, what's his name?
Todd Downing.
Yeah, that guy is going to be very good. He was on the Titans, right?
Mm-hmm. Are you bricked up?
Yeah, I'm very bricked up. Yeah, I think doesn't he look like Green Bean a little bit with his beard?
I can see it.
Yeah, well, a little shorter. Green Bean has the longer beard, but he does look like that guy. So, Fireman Ed's going to be at the Halloween game, right? He said?
Oh, he'll be there.
Okay,
Mike. He's dressing up as you for Halloween.
Oh, no, you got to be kidding me. You got to get a hair, though. I got gray hair. So, yeah, I think, you sure he's just going to deliver coffee to Aaron Rodgers?
Yes.
So he's not doing anything. I think they should make him scrub toilets.
Mm-hmm.
And then he could be the water boy like Bobby Boucher, right?
Yeah.
That's his job. He can't coach, he's out.
Yeah.
So that was a good move. I enjoyed that move. I was happy, Brent. I saw him on the Titans, and he's very good. Wasn't he with Vrabel?
Mike Vrabel.
Yeah, the guy from the Smelly Patriots. Let's go Yankees tonight. Let's go Padres tonight. Yeah.
Bob, excellent job out of you. Thank you.
Excellent job for you, too. I hope you win. I think you will win. I have a possibility.
Thanks, Bob.
You're
welcome. Well, I need to walk more to survive unless Jake is going live. Gotta elevate my leg on Bobby.
I'll tell you what. If that Underdog slip hits tonight with Bobby's picks, we're going to bring Bobby on every day to give out Underdog picks. Use promo code Asman and sign up if you want to follow along the Bobby Midnight Underdog picks. Bang Mateo in the house. Would Arthur Smith save Saleh's career if he hired him? Maybe. Right? That was the guy they targeted to help Hackett. And he got an OC job, so he said, no thanks. I don't think it would have mattered. Because I think Hackett still would have been the play caller, so we would have been in this exact same spot. Ace of Spade writes in, Bobby and Sarah song request. I'm going to need more than $2 for that. All right? You give me a $5 super chat, you got a deal, Ace of Spade. K-Stacks, Hackett, new water boy. Happy for him. He's being paid very well. Nicholas, I hope Davante doesn't go to the Bills. I'm not buying the Bills as an option for him. I don't buy the speculation there. No one is giving the Raiders a second-round pick, which is why he hasn't been traded yet. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're one of the 640 people watching live, please click that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Ace of Spade goes, there you go. Ladies and gentlemen, hit it.
She's from Australia, the golden blonde beauty. Can't live without her, that girl makes me freaky. Sarah the angel is everyone's sweetie. If she dumps her husband, I'll be her next beefy. Sarah.
Ladies and gentlemen, since Ace of Spade paid $7 total, we're going to give them both Bobby Sarah songs.
Hey guys, guess who's with me now?
Oh, Bubby.
It's the girl who makes my freaky roll.
Oh, Bubby.
She's the only one I let sit on my chair.
Oh, Bubby.
With her beautiful face and her long blonde hair.
Oh, Bubby. Oh, you know I'd stop by more often if you clean up this mess.
Oh, Sarah.
Is that an old ham sandwich over there, Bubby?
Yes, Sarah.
Do you think I'm prettier than 3D Gary, Bubby?
Of course, Sarah.
Because you said he's good looking with his long, sweet hair.
Oh, Sarah. I thought it was his wife.
Incredible. Bobby says, wow, Jake gets paid to play that song. It's good to be king, Bobby. I'm just kidding. I do have open phone lines if anyone wants in on the conversation. If you've never made a call to this show before and you want to get on immediately, now's your opportunity to do so. I also want to do something cool for the Jet fans out there. Let's do a giveaway. I'll send anyone who follows me on Twitter and Instagram at Jake Asman an item from the Jake Asman merch store, a hat, a hoodie, a t-shirt, coffee mug, coffee tumbler. One random listener. You know what? We'll do two. But you got to follow me on Twitter and Instagram first, at Jake Asman, and then follow at Jake Asman Show while you're there for your chance to be randomly selected. I think we gave away 5 items when I was in London, and we did a random giveaway. So congrats to everyone who won. I'll DM you if you're the winner. Also, just another reminder to tune in to the post-game show Monday night. We'll be live right after the game, as we always are. Bobby Midnight writes in, that's my song, not yours, though. Bobby, I'm a capitalist, man. Alan says, Davante to the Commanders. Sounds very interesting. Doubt he goes there. Great fit. I don't think Washington's going to add him. No, I really think he's going to be a Jet. I mean, if he's going to go anywhere else, I'm glad it would be an NFC team. But if he's traded and they can't get him, as long as it's not for something ridiculous, I'm going to very much so criticize the Jets because I would find that to be unacceptable. Stan from Westport says 12-5, still my estimation. 12-2 from here, or 10-2 from here, starting with Monday night. Look, the way I look at it is this. The Jets have the 5th easiest schedule remaining. They got 10 games on the East Coast. If they go 8-4, they're 10-7. I think they can go better than 8-4. I think they can go 9-3 and go 11-6. I still think that's possible for this team. I think Aaron Rodgers is going to play a lot better now. I do. I think this was a shot in the arm the offense needs. Downing, well, not great. He's better than Hackett by a wide margin. I truly believe that. I just think he's got a better pulse for the type of plays to run, type of personnel usage. He has coordinated a successful offense far more recently than Hackett has. That Jaguar season was in 2015. It's a long time ago. The league's different. We know what Hackett is. Now we got to see this team go out there, hold each other accountable, protect the quarterback, and they should be so much better. Curly says, we'll criticize the Jets and then continue to watch them because we're mentally ill. We're fans, man. That's what fans do. Jesus Jerry says, Jake, if things go awry against the Bills, how angry will you be? I mean, very angry. Kenny says 10-7 might take the division. I'm with you, Kenny. Kenny watching on X. Look, 10-7, but your wins are against AFC East teams. You're winning the division. Now, as bad as the Jets have played here, right? 2 of their 3 losses are against NFC teams. That's not going to kill you. The conference record for the Jets is 2-1 right now. So this is obviously a big game because it's a divisional game, but it's an AFC game. Gusbuster Hotline is open. Indomitable is up next on the show. What's up, Indomitable?
What's up, Jake?
How we feeling?
Let me tell you something. Much respect to Fireman Ed, but I disagree with him when he says that, that as fans we can criticize, but we can't pound the team. But I think we do have a right, because every time we go to the giant air conditioner that is MetLife Stadium and spend our hard-earned money and the dedication and everything, we kind of like have a right to see when something is not going right. And like I've said a couple of days ago, the only common denominator the past 25 years has been Woody Johnson. I read somewhere that Woody Johnson is the Donald Sterling of the East Coast, the ex-owner of the Clippers. I don't know if that's the truth, but I think it's time for us to start winning, because this Ulbrich experiment, I agree with it. I'm 100% on board. I think we're going to do fine. But it can be like dating a hot girl that is a crackhead. It can either guide her to recovery, or it's just going to be an unmitigated disaster. So hopefully it goes well for us and we can start winning, man, because if not, it's going to get ugly quick. Thank you, Jake.
Yeah, I mean, they got to go out there and dominable, and they gotta play better. Like, they got to win games. Like, this fan base is going to be supportive because it's a great fan base. But now you got to win. And you can criticize this organization. They deserve it. I think Woody Johnson made the right move here, because I think same old Jets would have been allowing Saleh to coach the team the whole year. This is a win-now type of move. Now, that was an interesting analogy there from Indomitable. Some might enjoy a hot crackhead. I don't know. I'm not going to discriminate against ugly crackheads. But at the end of the day, they got to get after it, man. They got to win on Monday. I wish this game was tomorrow. I'm sick of waiting for it. Just got to win, man. And now people could say, well, Jeff Ulbrich's a defensive guy. How is he going to help the offense? He talked about today holding guys accountable, playing with a higher sense of urgency, saying how they started games is not good enough. Saleh would say we got to get it fixed, and then nothing would change. Ulbrich's putting everyone on notice. Let's say hello to Jersey Joe, who's up next. What's up, Joe?
What's going on, Jake? How are you?
I'm hanging in, man. What a week.
Oh my God, man. It's been a couple weeks since I called and so much has happened. Jeez, I couldn't call after the Broncos game, man. That week was a rough one. And then Sunday, whatever. What a crazy week. I think we've seen something similar last season with the Bills, when they switched their OC, things kind of took off. And then even into this season, I think their Achilles heel, they said, was Stephon Diggs. Now, I have a theory that I think things, I mean, I'm being cautiously optimistic here. I'm not trying to be a downer at all. I'm very optimistic, and I hope Ulbrich keeps us bricked because with the OC, I think our Achilles heel is Rodgers because he doesn't like motions. He doesn't like the complexity like that. And I think that's what we need to implement more is more things that unfortunately Rodgers doesn't like, but I think he's his own Achilles heel, no pun intended, because he just, I don't know if he's like too stubborn to adapt. And that was always my biggest problem with this coaching staff and Joe Douglas is the stubbornness that they always happen to. It's just like the stubbornness with Reddick and not benching Zach Wilson sooner than later, you know what I mean? Or like, oh, Zach's our guy, we're going to stick with him. I get it. You want to stick to your guns, but something's got to give. And I feel like with this scenario, it's going to be Rodgers and not doing his motions. I don't know if much is going to change. I'm hoping things change, but
I can tell you this. I can tell you this. Rodgers has said all the right things, right? He has been awesome in regards to accountability, saying he needs to play better, talking about how they got to stick together. We're all behind Coach Ulbrich. He I think knew while he likes Hackett personally, there was going to need to be change. And while I think he liked Saleh personally, I don't think deep down he's that upset over this team doing this now. I think he recognizes this team has too much talent and they need that spark. And honestly, seeing the players, how sad they were about Saleh, hot take, maybe this kind of proves they made the right move because like Saleh was too buddy and friends with these guys. They liked him. I think they respected him, but I don't think they were playing to their full potential for him, right? And I think Ulbrich's going to be a breath of fresh air and accountability and energy that this team just lacks right now, and they need to get it right starting Monday.
I agree. You know what? Keep us bricked, and two things need to happen by Monday. I mean, maybe Monday, whatever, Tuesday next week. We need Adams, and we need to see Jake at L5. That's it. But thanks, Jake. Have a good one, man.
I appreciate it, Jersey Joe. Thanks for the call, man. I mean, I go back to what Rodgers said yesterday, right? How he needs to play better. He said it again today. If I played better, this doesn't happen. I think we're going to get a really good Rodgers game on Monday. I do. Has anyone checked the weather? Can we get some decent weather in the forecast for these people that are going on Monday night? I clicked on it. Monday's low will be 48 at 12 a.m. and the high will be 64 at 12 a.m. Doesn't look like there's going to be rain. I mean, we've said that before, and we know how that goes, but still. Here's Jeff Ulbrich talking about how he plans to be more involved on the offensive side of the ball.
Right. No, I definitely want to have an influence there as well. So I'm gonna really look hard at this week and how I can find those places to infuse my personality into that side of the ball. From a strategic or from a schematic standpoint, I don't know if there'll be a ton of input, but as far as style of play, absolutely. You know, the way this thing looks on Monday night, I'm hopeful that I can infuse that into them.
Is there something about Todd's?
That's what you want to hear, right? That's leadership. Style of play. Run the football, man. If you're Jeff Ulbrich, you tell Todd Downing, hey, Aaron's only allowed to throw 25 times this game. Figure out a plan to get this running game going because that's where it all starts. I mentioned Aaron Rodgers. I thought his press conference today was one of the best he's had since he became a Jet. This was Rodgers talking about moving forward with this team.
You know, the idea of manifestation involves attention and intention, and then a word that goes along with that is accountability. You know, we need to be accountable to each other. When something like this happens, it's a reset for everybody. When you make a change on the offense, it's a mirror that's held up for all of us who played, and we all feel terrible about the opportunity that we had, that we squandered, that led to Robert getting fired and Hack getting demoted. I play better. This doesn't happen. We play better on offense. This doesn't happen. So I think it puts a spotlight on us, and now it's on us to do this. We need to be accountable to each other, and we got to raise the level of our play to the standard that we set during training camp.
Love that. Let's go see it. J-Quest says, Jake, if someone offers you free tickets, give them to an Asmaniac. J-Quest, are you new around here? You've been a long-time viewer of the show. I've given away so many tickets. I plan to do that. I'll say that again. For anyone who can't go to the game Monday, if you want your tickets to go to a diehard so we can make sure MetLife stays loud, message me, email me, asmanjake@gmail, and we'll make sure we get them in the hands of true Jets fans. That's for every game. So if anyone has extra tickets that can't use, if you want them to be used for a Jet fan, let's make it happen. More of your calls right now. Let's say hello to Nate, parentheses Nate. Nate, hello. How was the Met game?
It was unbelievable. Literally the best moment of my life. Well, sometimes, Jake, I'm on hold for 2 hours, and sometimes it's literally 2 seconds. You always keep me on my toes. I love it.
Well, we go in order around here, Nate.
I love it. No, you did say open phone lines. I was expecting this. Mets game was surreal. I literally, Jake, have not slept since the Mets game. It's been 48 hours since I went to sleep. I had to work right afterwards, and I got invited last minute to the game. One of the kids from my basketball program I was telling you about, like, invited me in the afternoon. So like my sleep schedule changed, and I was like, all right, I'm going to the game. I can't say no to this. And then, like, I know this isn't a Mets show, but for all the Mets, like, we're all sitting there as Mets fans. We loaded the bases in the first and second, couldn't do anything. We left 10, 12, maybe a dozen runners on by that time. They scored on an error. They couldn't hit the ball. It was just like, wow, we're going to lose 1-0 while leaving 24 guys on at home. They score on an error and just cap it off. It was just, there was just that feeling in the stadium. And then Lindor and the OMG Mets, that one swing changed everything. It was unbelievable. I was asking people who were taking videos around me to send me videos because I was just going berserk. I didn't expect for it to happen. It was like, it just doesn't seem real. It's like we talk about the Jets making a Super Bowl or the Jets making a chance. Like, we talk about it in the offseason, but we don't actually, you don't know that's real until, and again, it's a team that's 5-10, 11 games under. Just unreal. All right, let's get to the Jets. Enough of my my OMG Mets. Although I got this for 40 over $115 sweater. Good choice or no?
Good choice. I mean, that's synonymous with the season. That's the slogan for the season.
Am I there? No, I wanted the sweater, but they put OMG on a regular hoodie and it was 115.
I think you made the right choice.
Jets, I think so too. Jets wise, we are. Well, I wrote the betting notes down. I always like the lines, Jake. We were 350 to start the week, plus 350 to win the division. It's down to plus 300 on most books. Some are under plus 300. If we win Monday, that has to swing like to almost we're favorites. Right? We then have the edge against Buffalo. We're probably going to look good if we beat Buffalo, right? We're not going to look terrible beating Josh Allen. So we're at that 8.5 now, Jake, for the over under. So if anyone thinks we just got off to a slow start, and if you really believe in the brick as the last caller did, that 8.5 is like plus money right now. Bricked up. Absolutely bricked up. We're all going to be bricked up till kickoff. It's all fun and games until we see what goes on the field. But yeah, speaking of brick, Jake, the interim coach, I've seen people talk about, interim coach has, this record, interim coach has never won a Super Bowl, blah, 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 blah. It's like saying someone with the last name of Burrow has never won a Super Bowl. This situation is so different. It's most 95% of interim coaches, you're taking over a bad team without a quarterback with maybe 5 or 6 weeks to spare. And then if you can prove to the owner, you turn the locker around by winning 3 out of 3, going 500 with a bad team, maybe you get a chance. You saw with the Raiders. It's like this situation. No, can anyone remember the last time coach was fired week 5 and with a team with Super Bowl expectations? It's like, don't compare whatever. it's just dumb people in the chat that don't understand. There's really, it's not even nuance. It's a different situation. Okay, it's just a different situation. Like I said, it's the same thing as saying someone named Burrow has never won it because Brady. It's just stupid. It's just stupid. If they win, Jake, it changes everything on our season. Obviously, people are going to say, "Oh, if we lose, it's a bad decision to fire Saleh." But it's really, that's wrong because it's basically the definition of insanity. Robert Saleh was never going to win here. He never proved he could win a game. Like, we were losing. Jake Quest had the stat I said last time on the show about what was 16 out of 57 losing in the first, 17 out of 57 losing at half. That's literally coaching. The first half is literally coaching. Us coming back in the second half after being down 21-0 is because the other team's running the ball and trying to run the clock out, and we're squeaking out 2 touchdowns to make it look a little bit better. The fact that we're that bad in the first quarter and first half is because we are not prepared. We are not disciplined week in, week out. It's just like, you could be as nice as a guy as you want. Like, I could run a great business and make no money. My employers would be happy as shit. We would have 3-hour lunches. Oh, you didn't get the sale. Yo, Jake, you tried to get the sale and you get it next time. Like that, don't worry about it. Like, that doesn't cut it. This is like a performance-based business, and you were not getting it done. You had plenty of time to get it done. You with a quarterback, without a quarterback. So it's the right move whether we win or not. I just want to make that point now. It's the right move whether we make the playoffs or not, and whether we fulfill this destiny that we all think is possible. Absolutely.
It wasn't working, Nate. It wasn't working. Yeah, you rather go down doing something different than the same thing. Same old Jets would be doing nothing. That's why when people say same old Jets this week, same old Jets is Woody's never done this in season. And you know what? Maybe he should, because he's also never had a team you could argue as talented as this team is right now with this quarterback in this window. So it was time. And I do think this team is going to come out with their pants on fire on Monday, and the energy is going to be there early, and it's got to be sustained for 4 quarters. But they're not getting down 17-0 in this game like they were, sleepwalking through that first half against Minnesota in London.
Yeah, no, you're 100% right. And dude, we get the Revis ever jerseys. We're gonna have the new jerseys. We're gonna have a new coach. This is a new season. We win the game, we're in first place. Just like at the start of the season, when you're 0-0 and you win a divisional game, just like we did against the Bills in week 1 with Xavier Gibson, we were in first place. We win on Monday, we're in first place. Same situation as week 1 last year. Now we have Aaron Rodgers. Now we don't have Robert Saleh. Let's do this. Let's go.
Nate, I'm gonna ask you one final question. Are you?
Oh my God!
Bricked up?
Sorry. Yes, absolutely. I will not. You want me to show you?
What does that look like exactly?
Never mind.
Okay, thank you for the time. More of your calls right now. Let's say hello to Calzone Moto. Hello, Calzone.
Hey, Jake. How's it going?
What's up, man?
Hey, not a whole lot. I appreciate all you're doing. I appreciate your show.
Where are you from? That accent does not sound New Yorker at all.
No, sir. I'm a Midwesterner.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Actually, I'm actually here from the Heartland. I live in Iowa. I've been a Jets fan since 1998. Believe it or not.
Why?
Oh my goodness. There's a story behind that. I was actually not even an NFL fan at all. For my family, we didn't watch football, never really followed college ball, but I was actually just hanging out with a buddy in '98. I was in high school, and Jets were playing, and I'll be completely honest, this was a long time ago. I don't exactly remember the game, but I remember it came down to a field goal, and this is such a Jets fan thing to do, but it came down to a field goal. And if the Jets make it, they go on. If they miss it, then their season's over. And they missed. And I never felt more sad in my entire life to see a football team lose. And I was kind of hooked. And I don't know why. It's like not too bright, but we're here now. So and I've just been a steady fan across the board for the Jets, pulling for them every year. And definitely pulling for him this year. Had high hopes last year. Rodgers went down. We all know. Don't need to relive that. This year, I think just to move forward in the show here for you, Jake. I think I'm going to just go ahead and parrot the what you're thinking there and what other callers have said about the Saleh decision. I'm 100% on board. He was a player's coach. They liked him. He was their friend. And I think he tried to make himself unfireable in a way by doing that, by being just likable, by being the guy in the locker room, just another one of the guys, and it almost worked. I mean, 20-36. It's really unbelievable. And your take on Woody letting him go after 5 games and that being the most not Jet-like thing to do is spot on. Because the most Jet thing to do would be to let him just ride out the season in mediocrity and either maybe sneak into the playoffs or completely miss. And that would be the Jet way to do it over the last years that I've watched. And, keys to the Buffalo game. First of all, we need to run better. Everyone knows that. We got to get our run blocking. I know Moses is coming back. That's good news for us. Olu did not look good in the last couple games. I will say that he is a good lineman, but he's raw and young, and he needs some work there. I will say that Todd Downing doesn't inspire me to want to fly to New York and go to the game, but at the same token, I am very excited about Ulbrich. I think he's a great coach. I think he's a motivator, and he's not going to be the player's friend. He's going to expect.
Are you bricked up?
I'm bricked up, brother. I'm bricked up. This guy, I remember watching One Jets Drive, earlier in the season, and Ulbrich was on there doing an interview, and I remember thinking to myself, man, he's going to be a head coach somewhere one day. And he's going to be a good one. And, we'll see how it goes. But I'm excited. I'm excited for it. And I am a little bit concerned in a way for Josh Allen's health in this game, as I think a lot of people are. But we're going to bring the heat, and I think he's in trouble. So,
well, Calzone Moto, my final question for you is about your fandom. Have you met any other Jet fans in Iowa besides yourself?
Yeah, we have a smattering. Most of them are, in the bigger city of Des Moines, Iowa. I'm near the Cedar Rapids area. But there's actually more Jet fans in Iowa than you'd believe. And I think we probably picked up some more with Rodgers being Green Bay is big here in Iowa. And there's probably some bandwagon Rodgers fans that jumped onto the Jets train this year or last year. So.
Well, there you go. The more you know. I love it. Well, Calzone,
right.
I hope we get to meet you at a Jet game one day.
Hey, I hope so too, brother. You keep up the good work. I appreciate it.
Calzone Moto checking in from Iowa. Now, I've already seen this circulating in the chat. I would like to clear the rumors up right now. I am not Todd Downing. Todd Downing is the new play caller for the Jets. You can't say OC, by the way, because technically Hackett still has the title. But I am not Todd Downing. We are not the same person. All right? All us redheads aren't the same. Don't discriminate against my people. I will not stand for this. Ladies and gentlemen, up next on the Gus Buster Hotline is someone who's been punched in the head more times than anyone. Gary is next. Hello, Gary.
You want to keep your head off the center line. You do want to keep your head off the center line. Yeah.
Don't you got to keep your head on a swivel?
You got to keep it on a swivel. Never straight in. Never just barge in the front door. Always use a side door. Work your angles. If I would have known that when I was younger, my life would be different right now.
That's true. Real quick, Tom Ace makes a great point. I can't be Todd Downing. I'm Wade Boggs circa 96. Tom,
with the mustache, you do have a Wade Boggs vibe.
Right outside my apartment is my horse that I'll be riding when the Yankees advance to the ALCS hopefully later. Not quite winning the World Series like Boggs, but got to start somewhere.
I got a couple of things, Jake. It's unfortunate that Tom Mace isn't a caller because he can't be in the tournament because he would do quite well in the 64-man tournament.
Have you met Tom in person?
I have not.
I have. Great guy.
I'm sure he is.
I'll say it again. The thing with Tom Ace is he has done something that no other commentator has done. He's never once called the show, yet he has developed a real role amongst the Asmaniacs without ever showing his face. That's not easy to do. There's a reason why no one's ever done it.
What about the other guy? The guy from Queens that gave me the pizza takes. What is not Hawk, but he trolls like Hawk. He's
Kyle?
Not Kyle. Kyle Clifton calls him all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a
commenter.
Joe Douglas lover.
Yeah.
Bang Mateo. Bang's never called in, right?
I don't believe so.
Yeah. Bang is top notch. Tom Ace is in the league of his own, though. Tom Ace's comments are always sharp and on point. If you would have told me this summer that on October 10th, the Mets would be in the NLCS and the Jets would have fired their head coach and be 2-3, I would have thought that was the most insane take ever. But here we are. And I want to remind you, there was a call-in host who has a Jets podcast that told me on Memorial Day that the Mets season isn't over. And I said, no, this team sucks. It's garbage. And you said they're one winning streak away from being in the wild card. And I said, they're not going to win any games because they're absolute trash. So you were right about that, right? That was you, by the way. I don't know if you remember that, but I called it on Memorial Day when they were 11 games under 500. I said, this team is absolute garbage. And this is right after Jorge Lopez threw his glove and the crowd said, this is the worst team in baseball. I'm like, he's not wrong. But I want to carry that over to the Jets. We're 2-3. We are one win away from being in first place. Season's not over, right? And I think, I don't know, the guy's name was Vito. Some guy commented before about Yankee fans and Jet fans. Yankee fans, Jet fans. It's a weird combination. If you're a Jet fan, you should be a Met fan. It's just they go together. Anything else is uncivilized. But if you're a Jet fan, how can you say the season is over when you're watching what the Mets are doing? Like, how can you say it's over? We're one win away from being in first place.
Well, especially because in the NFL, especially, you see teams all the time that weren't in the playoffs the previous year make it the following year. And all the time you see a team that starts slow that then gets hot. The Jets are equipped to be that team with their defense and their quarterback. So it could happen.
I absolutely agree. We just can't take another loss to Buffalo. Like this week is important. Like there's
12 games left. Like there used to just be 12 game seasons in the NFL. Like there's 12 games left.
It's a momentum thing, right? Like you don't want to be 2-4 with a veteran team who's just fired their this is a big win. Like I think if we win this week, 12-5 or whatever is still completely reasonable. But like we can't lose any more rounds. Right? We got to win this one, right? Like and then let's just take it one round at a time after that. But let's win this one. Like there's a saying in boxing: win today, look good next time. Like I don't care how we have to win this game. We just have to beat Buffalo. Have to. We have to walk out of there with the W to put all of this to bed. And I wanted to piggyback on Nate's call. And Nate was talking about Saleh, and this is a results-oriented business. And he's right? It's like it doesn't matter what you do, just get results. But why does that same argument never apply to Joe Douglas? It doesn't make any sense to me. Why doesn't he have to get – he's got the same deal Sean Marks has where he can't do anything to lose his job. Like, it doesn't matter what he does.
Why would you fire the GM now, though?
I would have fired him 2 days before he was hired. But
we understand. But, like, your criticisms of Douglas, like, nothing's going to change now. Let's see how the rest of the year plays out.
Well, here's the issue. Davante Adams isn't here.
But he hasn't been traded yet.
I know. What's up?
Let me say this. If Davante's traded and he's not a Jet, there'll be hell to pay. But we're not there yet. He hasn't been traded yet.
Oh, and I wanted to comment on, because they were talking about the Saints being interested in Adams too. And Nick this morning said that they don't have their quarterback. Oh, yes, they do. Oh, yes, they have their quarterback. His name is Spencer Rattler. He ain't giving that job back.
Is his Hall of Fame career starting on Sunday?
I said that he's the best quarterback in the draft. And Sham has the receipts in the Discord. So we can pull that up at any point.
Speaking of receipts, wow, FM is in the house. He says Gary is a great caller. You know, FM, I was maybe willing to look the other way because Gary is a good guy, but we're going to call him a great caller.
I think this is a good take. I like this.
Maybe a stretch too far. FM, you've been banned for life, man. I mean, unfortunately, a ban is a ban. Someone paid me good money to send your ass to the realm for life. This time we're sending you to the Rogers Insane Asylum. You have a severe case of RDS.
Aaron Rodgers strikes me as the type of person that preaches, do as I say, not as I do.
Aaron's on vacation. This is sort of what you would expect. Prickly, older, at times arrogant, disconnected quarterback.
Clearly, Aaron Rodgers prioritizing something above football. You have to be a little bit skeptical for somebody that only played 4 plays last year. Football is not the absolute top priority in his life.
Anyway, Gary, continue.
I have another question, and I know this is way too soon, but I was just looking at the bracket, and we have 5 1 seeds, but only 4 spots. Lane Train, Charles, Chiefs fan, Bobby, V-Man. One of them can't get a 1 seed, and 2 of them would then have to be in the same bracket. That's murderer's row right there. I don't know who's not getting a 1 seed, but one of them ain't.
It's the most stacked tournament that has ever been put together. I mean, just trying to do the mental gymnastics of seeding the bracket is going to be insane.
And then someone, could you imagine if you're 2 of those guys? So let's say hypothetically, Lane Train and V-Man are in the same bracket. Imagine having to go through that as a 3 seed. It's over. It's suicide. You can't do that.
Look, the Asmaniacs are going to vote on it. You know, there's going to be an opportunity for the people of this show to decide who the champion is when we get to that part of the calendar.
I'm already looking forward to it. I've already started doing mock brackets and bubbles, and that's how I got this 5 1 seeds.
What seed are you?
I haven't gotten that far down. You know, you just do like the top 4.
I can see you being a top 4 seed, Gary.
I mean, that's out of my control. That's up to the committee. You know, they're gonna put me where they put me.
Tom Ace is the chair of the committee, so he's gonna have a big say in everything.
Okay. I mean, look, the way I look at it is if you want to be the best, you got to go through everyone anyway. So I'm not overly concerned about the seed. It would be nice to get a 1-16 matchup. That's always nice. Get a nice little bye in the first round, sort of. But if you're going to win, you got to beat all comers anyway, right?
That is true. Gator says, does Gary disagree with Woody that these are the best players assembled since he bought the team?
As far as, talent, individual talent perspective, when did he buy the team? Early 2000s, right?
He bought the team in 2000.
2000. Yes. Although the 2000 team was and 2001 was still extremely talented, the leftovers from the Parcells. But yeah, this is a really good team.
Yep.
Yeah,
so
I would agree with that.
The GM put that team together.
Yeah, it's a 1-year deal. If it doesn't work, it was a failure. Mike Williams ain't going to be back. Tyron Smith ain't going to be back. Aaron Rodgers is going to be 41, 42 next year. Like, this is a 1-year deal. You can put all your chips in like the Nets did with KG and Pierce and all those guys and hope for 1 year it works out. If it doesn't, you don't look good. If it does, who cares? If it doesn't, do you want to look like the Nets? Do you want to look like the KG and Pierce Nets? Is that the look you want?
Knockouts don't matter if you land enough jabs. You can do music.
Sometimes I even break. I can't. Ladies and gentlemen, this guy called in for the first time earlier, and it was electric if you caught the first show. More people were talking about this call than any call we've had in a while. Justin Spencer is back for more. What's up, Justin?
What's up, Jake? How goes it?
Good, man. How about you?
I'm all right, I guess. Work sucks.
What'd you do today?
What's that?
What did you do at work today?
Fed them dinner, gave them their meds, took them to the bathroom.
What do you do again?
I'm a DSP. I take care of people with disabilities.
I see.
How's the weather in New York?
It's a little chilly today.
That's how it is here too. It's nice though, but it's chilly.
Where are you based again?
PA.
Oh.
In DuBois, PA, actually. I don't know if you know where that is, but
I do not.
It's like, you know where Erie is?
Sure, yeah.
It's like 2-3 hours from there.
Got it.
Is Allen playing on Sunday?
Yes.
Do we know?
Well,
He is
not
playing?
not on Sunday. No.
Oh, okay. Okay.
On Monday, he'll play.
I was watching Dan Mitchell's stream, and he said his hand is broke as well. So he's playing hurt, and he's probably concussed, which is not good. But I really hope that they win this game. To
What
get themselves.
What are you willing to sacrifice for them to win?
My job, I guess.
So, you would quit your job if we guaranteed you a Jet win on Monday?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I'd be all right with that.
What would you do?
What would I do in replace of my job?
Yeah. Would you get a different job?
I would. Like I said earlier, I don't like to be on camera, but I'm a sports guy, so I would try to get into like sports casting or something like that.
Would you ever do a show with Bobby Midnight?
Yeah, I'd consider it.
Hey, Bobby, call back in. Let's test the chemistry between you two.
All right. What else I was gonna say?
Would you do a show with
who?
The Lane Train?
Yeah. Yeah.
Hi, how are you? Bruce Hall. That's good.
Uh-oh.
Lane,
I'm by
Lane
myself.
dropped out, Justin. No, I'm back. I'm here. But I'm going to
okay.
hand it over to you, all right? I got to run to the bathroom. You host the show. Be right back.
Oh, okay. How's everybody doing? And New Yorker all across the world who's ever watching. This is my second time calling. I called earlier. I've been a Jets fan for a while, but I really didn't actually start liking them until five-ish years. But you know, I've watched all the crap over the years.
Well,
But
you know that Al's a lion crap of crap. You should check out my new hat. The Jets are freaking awesome. Bobby.
Hello, how you doing, Justin?
Hey, Bobby, how's it going?
Where you from again? You said
Pennsylvania.
Oh, what part of Pennsylvania?
Yep.
Where in
Pennsylvania?
I know what area. Poconos.
Oh no, Du Bois. It's like 3 hours outside of Erie.
Oh, okay. I know where Erie, Pennsylvania is. Okay, and you
Yeah,
you should come to my show when you don't have time. When you have time, it's called Bobby Midnight Show. You could come on and talk to everybody. It's just a open. They say Zoom chat, so you could come on anytime.
All right, yeah, I'll check it out.
Yeah, I go on like after Jake's show. So that's when I go on.
Oh, okay. That's why I've never seen your show then.
Yeah,
I've seen you on Jake's show, but I've never actually seen your show. That's probably why, because I usually watch Jake's show. But yeah, I'll check it out.
All right, no, that's good. You come on anytime you want, if you have the time. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
All right. We'll talk to you soon. Have a good day.
You too. Take it easy, Bob.
Okay, you too. Take it easy.
Hi, how are you? Bruce Hall. That's good.
Oh, he left.
Hi.
Lame train.
Sorry, everybody. See you next call when we talk about sports again.
Oh, there's Gary. Where's he at? Hey, Gary, how's it going?
What up, Justin? How are you?
I'm hanging in there, man. I'm hanging in there.
Me too. I got you. You said you're a big NBA fan. Who's your team?
Okay, so my favorite player is Paul George. I've liked him since he was been in Indiana and then he switched to the Clippers, and then from the Clippers to the Sixers now. So I'm kind of torn. I lived in LA for a little bit. My mom was in the Navy. So I still kind of root for the Clippers. I do like what the Knicks have done. James Dolan kind of turned me off to them for a while, but they got Brunson now and Towns. They just traded for Towns. Josh Hart.
Gas station pizza is better than a Big Mac.
Oh, back to me. Yeah, I guess I'm a Sixers fan now because my favorite player plays for the Philadelphia Sixers now. So,
Hi, how are you? Bruce Hall. That's good.
no, I'm not sure if I'm doing a good job hosting the show, guys. But if you haven't yet, hit the like button. Keep supporting Asman. He's a good dude. We all know that the torment that you guys have endured more than me, because I know a lot of you guys live in New York and I don't. So I'm sure it's pretty heartbreaking to watch some of the stuff that's happened to the Jets. But yeah, it's pretty chilly out in PA right now. It's nice, but it is chilly. Got some geese flying around. There's a lake across the street, if you can see it. I don't know if you can. It's closed for winter now, but summertime, there's a lot of boats and all that jazz. Oh, I'm still hosting the show. I doubt my daughter will see this, but if you're watching Vea, Daddy loves you. I will see you hopefully in a couple days. My daughter just turned 4 recently in September last month on the 16th. And she is 4 again, which is pretty wild because it doesn't seem like it's been long already. But time flies. If you don't stop to look around once in a while.
Congrats on the sex.
Yeah.
I'm back from the bathroom, Justin. How'd the show go?
I've also been. There he is. Thanks for that, Jake.
How'd it go? I look forward to watching the tape.
I did all right, I guess. I talked to Gary for a second.
I'm sorry about that.
The lane train left. He came in and left like twice. I'm sure he'll be back though.
He just wrote, "I'm trying to fix it." It looks like he was excited to talk to you on the show.
Again?
It's a good view of your ear there.
Oh, I couldn't hear you. I was trying to put the phone up to my ear so I could hear what you were saying because there's a crow in the background cawing and I can't hear. Now it's gone. Now it's gone. Now I can hear you.
Lane?
Yeah.
All right,
There he is.
I'll let the Justin show continue.
Okay. Hey, Lane Train, how goes it? Oh.
He dropped out. Lane, the connection today, we haven't had Lane for longer than a second at a time. Hey, Justin, I'll tell you what. If someone gives a membership, I'll have you read the name, all right? You're really become a full-on talk show host here. We'll run you through everything.
All right, I can do that.
All right.
Should have worn my coat. I just talked to my manager. I get to go home early, so I'm going to leave at 9 p instead of 10 p.
Nice.
Yeah, it's exciting for me. Also, after I called earlier, I got a headache. I came into work. I still kind of don't feel that great, but hopefully it goes away and I can get back to the norm.
Well said.
What's something people want to know about Justin?
How much money do you make a year before taxes?
Ooh. Before taxes?
Oh, you know what? After taxes. Let's really get specific.
After taxes?
Yep.
After taxes? Not a lot. Maybe somewhere in between 30 and 40. Not, I think.
I was going to say $1 million, Justin, because you got a heart of gold.
I wish. I sure as hell would be doing this if I made that much.
Gator
Maybe
writes
if
in,
I
"Hey, Justin, is there any weed left in Pennsylvania, or did you smoke it all?"
There is, but it's unfortunately, it's illegal here. So, yeah.
TB would like to know how you feel about gas station pizza.
I was gonna ask Gary before he cut out. I guess it's okay. It's not my favorite thing. I like chicken parm, like chicken and pasta, though. I know that's not Gary's thing. But
what's your favorite color?
What's my favorite color? I have two actually. It's red and black.
You can only pick one.
Okay, if I had to pick, we'll say black.
Black.
We'll say, I like UFC and boxing and all that jazz too.
J Quest wants to know, can you rush the passer?
Maybe a few years ago, but not so much anymore.
I see.
I'm not quite as spry as I once was.
When were you spry?
Probably 26, 28
Hmm.
in there. I mess around with friends in football, but yeah, I'm old now.
Craig writes in, FYI, I'm late for work because of this. Justin, your show is captivating, man. People are staying in their cars because they want to hear more from you. That's the sign of a good talk show host to me.
That's exciting. That's exciting.
Curly weighs in, Gary's nanny is a one seed for sure. Are you familiar with Gary's nanny at all, Justin? Any thoughts on her?
I'm not familiar with her nanny. Bobby, I know that he thinks that she's quite appealing.
Oh, yeah.
I haven't seen her though. I'm sure she's pretty though.
Simple Eats writes in, Jake, thanks for providing entertaining content every day. We all better be bricked up Monday night. Excited to see this team with a new leader. I'm bricked up, Justin. You're bricked up, right?
All brick, all brick, all brick.
J-Quest writes in, Justin, you just got into the Asmaniac tourney, 8 seed as of now, but moving up. What are your thoughts on the fact this is only your second ever call in the history of the show, and there are people that believe you belong in the field of 64 Asmaniac bracket tournament in March this year?
I appreciate that, guys. Yeah. Pretty amazing. Pretty amazing. I'm still not greatly comfortable behind camera, but maybe the more I do it, the more and the easier it will get.
Do you think you could make a run?
I can try.
Ryed writes in, Justin, what is the secret to the solid beard?
Like I said, I'm getting older now, so I just dyed it. Got to get rid of the grays. So
AJ says you're his favorite celebrity now. You've really made an impression on him.
I appreciate that, AJ.
Ladies and gentlemen, we hope this works. We've tried many times today, and it's been unsuccessful. But right now on hold is none other than the Lane Train.
Hi. Hi. How are you? Bruce Hall. That's good.
There's the Lane Train. There he is. How you doing? Well, I think you're muted. You gotta unmute your mic. Hello? I think he's still muted. I think he's still muted. Oh, is he coming back? Maybe I spoke too soon. Lane Train. Are you there? Yeah. You there, Lane Train? No. 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 Well, this is off the rails, much like Salah's tenure. That's pretty funny, Pittsburgh Mike. That's pretty funny. Yeah, I'm not the greatest host. This is probably only my second or third time on actual camera being kind of interviewed and or being a host. So yeah. I'll be sure to ask Jake for some lessons. Love you, love you, Justin. Thanks, I appreciate that. I'm not, but I try. The best host give the show to Justin.
Hi, how are you? Bruce Hall. That's good.
In there, Lane Train. How are you?
Oh,
Oh, he bounced. Who's everybody's favorite player on the Jets? And who, in your opinion, is having the best season on
Yeah.
offense and defense? Oh, he lost. What do you guys think of the blue sky? Not bad for October out in DuBois, Pennsylvania. Little chill, but other than that, it's all right. Prefer kangaroos or koalas? I kind of like both of them, but I think the more interesting is kangaroos. I guess koalas are kind of related. I think there may be like a distant cousin or something, but yeah, kangaroos are pretty cool. Jake asked me this. Okay, so I'm in my, mid-30s now. I'm getting old. But yeah, just get the beard dye out and line it up. And yeah, that should fix you up. Raise side. All brick. No brakes. All brick. All brick.
Hey, what's going on?
Hey, Dre, there he is. How's it going, man?
It's going well, my brother. How you doing?
I'm hanging in there, man. I'm hanging in there. All right, Jake. I gotta get back to the exciting world of DSP/care aid, taking care of people with disabilities. So shout out to everybody who
I'm back,
who's
Justin. Tremendous
watching.
job, man. You did a great job hosting the show in my absence.
I tried, man. There's only one Jake Asman, but maybe if I come back on the show, you can give me some tips and pointers and I can get better.
I'll tell you what, you're invited anytime you want, Justin.
Sounds good. Appreciate it, Jake.
You got it. The great Justin Spencer, everybody. Second ever call, already a co-host on the show. It's never been done before. Incredible. Lane, we got to get your internet fixed, man. We were trying to get that meeting of the minds, and it just wasn't working. What a show, folks. How'd Justin do? I thought he was tremendous. Unreal. Hit the like button if you haven't already. We're giving you a show for the ages. Fireman Ed for the first hour. Justin Spencer. Bobby Midnight. Lane Train for 10 total seconds. K-Stack says, Justin greater than Jake. Don't at me. I agree. Curly writes in, forget the Lane Train. Get aboard the Justin Jalopy. Am I saying that right? Is it Jalopy? Gator writes in, Justin maybe want to stop sniffing glue. Did you get your power back yet, Gator? How's the hurricane? Sarah writes in, good morning from down under. Sarah, I already had to play both your songs on this show. Tom says, Justin held down the fort admirably. I mean, if Justin keeps calling, he's going to be quickly rising up the ranks in the seating, Tom. That's what makes this so exciting. The tournament's not till March. It's only October. A lot of star power. Funky Fresh is right. Unreal. Hey, reminder, this show's available in a podcast if you want it. Apple or Spotify. Search it out. We made the announcement earlier. I'll say it again. Watch party. Our next two is the Steeler game followed by the Patriot game. Steelers on Sunday Night Football, October 20th at T-Squared Social in New York City. The bar is located right next to Grand Central Station in Bryant Park, so it's easy to get to if you're taking the train from Westchester, Long Island, Jersey, Connecticut. Come join us and have a blast and watch the Jets go down to Pittsburgh and get a win. Brian Morales, thanks for the super chat. Last chance to get your comment read. Curly, Jets underdogs at home. They should be. They'll play better as an underdog. Good. I'm reading through the comments here. These questions don't really seem for me. Here's a question from Gator. Is going from Hackett to Downing similar to going from Zach Wilson to Tim Boyle? I hope it's like going from Zach Wilson to Mike White. Well, Mike White is not a great quarterback, obviously. He was competent. That's kind of how I would view it. Like, Mike White's not a franchise quarterback, but he's a competent quarterback. You could win games with him. Downing, he's not a great coach, I wouldn't say. But he does have a lot more success than Hackett has had as a play caller. Matt Ryan wants to know, what's Hackett's new job, water boy? Yeah. Essentially, coffee getter. Gray says, shut your mouth, Jake. Mike White was the GOAT. Yeah, I don't know about that one, Gray, but he certainly will always have a moment in Jets history that we'll talk about. Marcel, would a Davante trade had to have happened already for him to play Monday? You would think so, right? You would think so. Phil, Yankees win tonight. They better. They better. This is the closeout game. Cole needs to pitch well. Certainly a lot better than he was in game one where he wasn't very good. And Aaron Judge has got to get a big hit with runners on. The game's going to keep finding him in those spots. Thank God for Giancarlo Stanton. Say whatever you want about the guy. The injuries, the lack of mobility he now has, the inability to play the field. This guy always hits in the playoffs. Always. He is the only one in the Judge era that has overachieved, that has come through. Aaron Judge needs to have that moment. He needs that A-Rod 09 moment. Just to relax him a little bit, get him going. Stanton is money in big spots. Soto already had a big game one. Had the sac fly last night. Came through. Soto has a ring. He was great in the playoffs in 2019. Judge has got to get going, man. There's too much on the line. We'll do one last call, and then we'll wrap it up. Kevin's our final caller today. What's up, Kevin? Kevin?
Hey, good to see you, Jake. It's been a long time. You can hear me?
Yes, sir. A little bit of a delay, though, so I'm just going to lay out and let you make your point.
I know it's been a good time since last time since I called, but this whole, Robert Saleh firing, I think it was, it had to be done. I agree with you that it had to be done. I'm looking forward to Brick taking over and having a good defense and running this team. I think he's got a good command of the field. I got a good feeling from him at the press conference today. So, hey, Jeff fans, let's go do this on Monday night. Let's show up at MetLife Stadium and let's go get a dub. Let's go get a win. Let's be 3-3 and just keep on charging towards the season. I don't think we have anything to lose at this point, like you said. And I think we have a great opportunity to have a good season by making this change. I applaud Woody Johnson for this change. I know it's a quick, short call, but that's all I want to say. And let's go Jets.
Well, they won 3 of their last 5 games. Against who? The Commanders and the Patriots? We're pounding our chest on that? We could have got this win in Fairyland here. You have coaches running from rats from a sinking ship. You have no confidence in the head coach. And we're sitting here going, well, guys, we were 7-10 last year, Get your head out of you know what?
Seems like Kevin's in much better spirits than the last time we heard from him on the show. Interesting. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Brick up. Kevin's in. Are you ready, Jet fans? I'm bricked. What a show. Thanks to everyone for making it special. Best fans in sports. Best listeners ever. You guys are truly awesome. Make sure you click the like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We hit over 39,000 subscribers yesterday, which is a huge number, man. Go look at how many content creators for whatever your favorite team is have that kind of following. This fan base is just amazing. People don't realize. But hopefully with some winning here, they're going to start to. Let's go, man. Let's go. That does it for me. I want to thank everyone who was a part of it today. I will talk to you guys tomorrow. We're going to be live in the morning around 10 a.m. We'll be live in the afternoon, 4 p.m. Boy Green in his usual time. We did Ed a day earlier, so we'll do something tomorrow morning and keep the show rolling as we normally would do. Thank you all for your support. My name is Jake Asman. This has been the Jake Asman Show. If you want a chance to win free merch, all you have to do is follow me on Twitter and Instagram right now at Jake Asman, and you got your name entered. Talk to you guys soon. JETS. Jets, Jets, Jets. Brick up, baby, and let's go Yanks. I think it's time to get to some calls, baby. The Lane train is starting us off. Lane, what do you got for us?
Who do you see Michigan drafting? Oh, hi. With the 10th pick in the 2024 draft, Michigan takes the sports player from?
Well, Michigan won't draft anyone because they're a college team.
I just don't see the Jets signing Bill Belichick. His season's over. How do you feel about it?
Lane, I feel great. How about the broadcast, by the way? Robert Smith called Bruce.
Handoff in there to Bruce Hall effectively to get that first down.
I mean, the lane train influence in this game today, folks. It was everywhere.
So I have a bunch of good stuff to tell you. There's 2 games on today, and there's games on tomorrow. And there's a lot of stuff happening in sports right now. Like, how do you feel about it? Do you think you draft A.J. Brown, or do you draft anybody else that is willing, that's available?
Well, A.J. Brown, you'd have to trade for, so I would not draft him.
I know. Hi. How are you? Bruce Hall. That's good.
You people wanted the lane train, and guess what? Joining us right now is the aforementioned Lane Kerner. Hello, Lane.
Oh, hi. Hi.
Oh, God.
How are you?
Hi, Lane.
How do you feel about my new beard? Yes, I grew it overnight. How do you feel? More news. How do you feel? So there's 2 sports games on today and 2 sports games on tomorrow. How do you feel? Bruce Hall. Good, right? How do you feel about the Jets drafting a college player this year? Can they trade Robert Saleh? How do you feel?
Lane, thank you for the call. Good God, man. Bruce Hall. My favorite Laneism is still Elijah Moore's. He's talking about AVT. Thanks for the contribution, Gator.
Look, guys, I don't know how else to say this. Fact of the matter is the team has almost no chance to win this week unless you click on the like button. Also, be sure you're subscribed to the Jake Asman Show. Let's do this. Go Jets.
The Jets are going to come back. No, they're not. They're never going to come back. They're never going to come back.